Oh God. I think it's better here. Good morning. This light might be a bit too strong actually. Let me see. I think you can see me correctly. Oh God. So I'm just coming with you to talk about manifestation. I know people hear that a lot when they say, oh, manifest, manifest, and people sometimes misuse it and they're actually quite lazy. Like they don't actually manifest anything. Well, I think that in 2026, everyone knows about it. And basically, what you think, your thoughts affect a lot of what happens in your life. And this might be really difficult to understand if you're not spiritual. I didn't say, um, how can I say? I didn't say if you are religious. If you're not spiritual, you might think that what I'm saying to you is absolute BS. That this is just some witchcraft, some like some esoterical stuff, but it's real. Like really, what the words you use about yourself, how you speak about yourself, it's really manifesting to your life. So let's say if you spend your time having negative opinions about negative thought about yourself, you might not realize it that you're doing it, but stop doing it because essentially what you're doing, you're telling the universe or the energy around you that your life and that you as a person, um, it becomes a reality, you know? It's like if you spend your time telling yourself that you're not good at anything, that you're a loser, blah blah, it actually becomes because you eventually start to believe in it. I think we've seen all of that scene where they say you're in front of the mirror and you have to tell yourself, I am amazing. And sometimes I do it and I feel a bit stupid at the time when I do it. But let me tell you, it does actually impact how I feel about myself. So if you're just in front of the mirror and you keep telling yourself, I am an amazing person, I'm going to achieve. I don't know how, but I'm going to achieve. I'm going to be very successful. Good things happen to me. I meet interesting people. I'm going to be healthy. Like, can you imagine, even let's say, without going so deep, sometimes people can't even think about something positive happening to them. They think, oh yeah, this is just, it happens to such and such people because, they are the, I don't know what. No, like what about, it can actually be your life as well. And you might feel that certain things, for example, let me give you a silly example. Like, for example, if in your family you don't have anyone who have been to uni or who have been, it could be your family member or people around you who have achieved financial success. You don't know these people. You think, oh, this is just some really, it's really hard for your brain to even think about it as a reality, that you could actually earn so much money, that some people don't ever have to think about their bills, that they go on holidays, you think, oh, it's just for rich people, or they're just people that are lucky, whatever. Actually, it can be you, why not? They are just blood and flesh like you. They're not smarter than you. They might have had opportunities, but it doesn't mean that they are better than you. It just means that they have had opportunities and they have been working for it after a while. Sometimes they haven't been working for it. Well, actually, they have. Uh, Also, pay attention, like, you also might have heard the stories about how people say, oh, my parents used to tell me that I'm not going to achieve anything in life. And it's like, when parents talk about their children, if you have children, because again, on this stage, I noticed that most of you are, like, at least, like, the average is above 25 years old. So, for me, by the way, if you're like 25 years old, like, you're a mom and you're a dad, potentially you could be a parent, you know? I'm not going to treat you like a child. Like, at 25, my mom already had 4 toddlers. Now it's the old generation, but actually, if you think about it, really, you can be someone's parent right now. You don't need someone to be your parent. You can be someone's parent. Yeah, it's really hard to imagine. But basically, to go back to what I was saying, a lot of people, when they have their children, they have limiting beliefs. And limiting belief is like, if you don't know what it is, it's basically you have these beliefs, maybe from your culture, from people around you, from the society, that are limiting your action because you think, oh, someone like me will never achieve success. I don't know, if you're a woman. And a lot of time, I've seen that, especially if you're like ethnic minority living in the West, you might think, oh, I can't do that because oh, someone is going to be racist, they're not going to let me get the job. Trust me, it's a limiting belief. Apply and do your thing because a lot of time, if you are in, what I noticed, if you are trying to access an elite environment, it's going to be easier as a minority than so-called like, let's say if you apply to McDonald's, because people there, they are very, it's a bucket, probably the bucket mentality. But if you go somewhere quite elitist, people actually will respect and admire your skills, and they're not going to care about your skin color or your ethnicity or your religion. Or they just care about their brain is much more elevated, so they don't really stop and think about your skin color or if you're gay or if you're Jewish or if you're. They really don't care. It's more about what you can bring to the table. So that's why you should aim actually higher, you know. And think about it, like you might. I was talking about people and their families and parents. You can even see that some. By the way, I'm working on incline, and I've been doing this for a while, and this is a challenge for me. So my thing is, I do modeling, and I have some fashion shows, etc. I had a fashion show last weekend. I'm going to post it more on this channel, I promise. So subscribe if you want to see new stuff. So I was really into a crash diet, getting motivated, and when I tell you the incline walk, like this, you know, the incline walking is the future, really. Like you come here, like me, you get your coffee, I didn't even have breakfast, and then you just walk on incline, like this, and you will see that you would actually see results on your health. It's crazy. But you have to be consistent. You have to do that for at least a week, and you realize that it actually does work. So anyway, what I was saying is like, you know, like the power, even the power of names. Like, if you see people's name, I know maybe you don't believe in this stuff. Like, so for example, in some African cultures, you have a name that's going to be like a bit like what your parents are prophesying for you in your life, and it does work. For example, my name. So my first name is Lucy, and my African name is like someone who's like a healer, someone who's like a really good-hearted, and I am, to be honest, and I am actually sometimes too nice to people, and I really have this thing where I care about their mental health. I want them to be well. I've got the kind of like savior complex thing, which is something that I've learned not to give to everyone now because I feel like it drains my energy, and I better off focus on myself too, you know, and give that energy to people that I feel like are close to my heart, but not just everyone, you know. And Lucy is basically the light. You have people who say, oh, it's like Lucifer, but like, you know, these are small-minded people who are, you know, just want to hurt my feelings and who don't know much about, you know, I don't even get upset about it. I think it's a beautiful name. Basically, Lucy means the light, and I'm doing modeling, I'm doing fashion, I'm a lot of time under the light. So, and sometimes I hope so. But yeah, people say, oh, Lucifer, like, oh, wow, whatever. You know, I'm just like, oh, there's also Lucy in the Sky by the Beatles. But you know what? These people generally, when they say that, I smile. I don't even argue with them. I just think they're a lost cause, and I just think, wow, you know. But I feel like when you start to believe that anything you want, you can achieve. And it might sound really weird. It might sound like you're, like, you know, for me, a lot of things in life I wouldn't have even started doing if I didn't think that it was possible. So, for example, I have this, like, you speak to people and pay attention. A lot of people are very negative about themselves or about their beliefs. So, for example, I live in Poland, And even Polish people will tell me, oh, Polish language is difficult. Like, but I'm thinking, so your limiting beliefs is that I shouldn't even bother learning. Because if I'm thinking like, oh, it's a very difficult language, I'm not even going to start. Yeah? See, that's how far it goes. Or let's say if, like for the gym, for example, there's some people who say, oh, my body will never change. That's just, and I'm thinking, so you are meant to tell me that science doesn't apply to your body. Like, oh, but my body is different, my body. It's like, a lot of time, if anyone is put on an island, I don't know if you watch that show Survivor, if you put on an island and you give them less food, you're going to lose weight. This is a scientific thing, you will lose weight, you know? And even like if you see things like Ozempic, all of these people who were going to say, oh, I can't lose weight, it's impossible for me, that was their limiting beliefs. But then suddenly Ozempic happened, so you mean to tell me that it was fake all this time? Or it's just that you were not doing your best, or you were not trying? And for me, it's not, I don't judge someone for using Ozempic. I'm like, whatever can help you, whatever can be something that will just do it. It doesn't matter that someone will say, oh, no, you didn't do it naturally, and then you didn't actually go to the gym. Huh? You were cheating because you were using Ozempic. That's your body. Can they even afford Ozempic? Just think, can they even afford Ozempic in the first place? No, they can't. So just do your thing. And then if you have a health complication because you're too overweight, are they going to be helping you? Taking you to the hospital? I don't think so. So take your Ozempic if you can. You don't even have to talk about it, because again, these people are small-minded and they're going to try to judge you or shame you for that. But you know why they do that? Because they know that, let's say for example, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, and they don't want you to feel better. That's all I hear. Very selfish. But anyway, I had this thing and I really, it's like, it took me a while because I used to be quite, I'm still quite negative, to be honest. I'm quite, not negative, it's like I'm pessimistic. I don't really have faith in humankind. I feel like a lot of people are full of shit. And I think that if you listen to my live stream, I'm happy that there is AI because I rely more on the AI than a human being. Even in the sense of like as a minority, I feel like the AI is not going to discriminate me. So I love it. I think it's amazing. I'm going to go grocery shopping after this, and I'm going to use self-scan tills. I don't want to have to be stressed by the cashier who's going to be rude to me and look down on me or whatever. It's an attitude because she gets her job. I'm that person too, you know. I wouldn't say that I'm not quite. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm not quite that person who's going to be like recently I saw yet another comment by Elon Musk about like, oh, because Lupita Nyong'o is going to be a goddess in Odyssey. First of all, Elon Musk, he's a tech guy, and for me, he doesn't care about people. You know, he doesn't even. But I think that he's the hero of teenage boys because I don't know any girl who's like. Even the guys always say that we care about money, but they are the ones who are obsessed with Elon Musk. Because, oh my god, Elon Musk is... And if you look really deeply, why do they like him? Because he's supposedly the richest man on the planet, which, by the way, I don't believe, because I think that there are lots of people who are wealthy who don't want people to know it. Like, for example, do we know who are the people who are selling weapons? Do we know them? Of course, no one wants to say, hey, I'm the biggest shareholder of this company that sells weapons and blah blah blah. No. So it's like, and also tech sounds very sexy, but there are like a lot of non-sexy jobs that earn so much more money, you know. And a lot of time he tries to create this aura, but again, if you think about what I was just telling you, his dad named him Elon, like some sort of futuristic tech guy, like some. He thinks basically he's in my mind. He thinks that he's a super villain, like in a sci-fi movie. But for me, he's just like doing a lot of things for his aura. But I don't. And his mom is like, oh, but he wants to do so many things for the planet and for the people. Yeah, really. So why don't he use his money and his time and his brain to try to improve the healthcare system? That's the first thing. When he was in the White House, what did he do? He did a lot of things that was constraining people's lives. So for me, his actions are completely different, you know? But anyway, so I'm reading your comment. I never realized, but you were right. There probably is someone behind the supposed rich people. Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, it's like we all know people in our lives, yeah? But the people who sometimes are more wealthy, because wealth is not just on paper. You can have assets, you can have like houses, you can have, and no one will know about it. And they look sometimes like the most random people. But then the people who are openly saying that they have income are not necessarily the ones that have it. Like, I've got ethic, yeah? I wouldn't buy shares in guns and weapons in America, but let's be honest, this is a big thing in America. That's why they don't say anything about it, because at the end of the day, it's so much money. Like, I practice gun shooting here in Poland, but have you ever seen how much the ammunition costs? So it's more like how many ammunition that could be like your coffee, your day out, and that's just for practice. And yes, I know they want to replace them by robots, but it's not going to be anytime soon. You know? But anyway, but you really have to really believe in yourself. Like if someone tells you, oh, you can't do this, you're not good enough, like in your mind, you don't have to say to them, like don't say to them, but like what I do, I say to them, I will. I will. I'm like that in my mind, but I just look at them, I'm thinking, you don't know anything, I will. And I do. You know? Don't. Sometimes, when they say, oh, you have to be your biggest fan, it's true. No one is going to come, at least in my opinion, especially if you're strong, no one is going to come and give you anything. No one is going to come and say, hey, you know what? Like, for example, I got to this realization a bit late, but like I do, I'm telling you, I do modeling. I have rarely people say, who give me an opportunity. Hey, you know what? Especially in the beginning. Hey, you know what? They wait for you to do a little bit, and then they see how people respond to you, and then eventually they start to get involved. You know. But I never know someone who says, hey, you know what? Yeah, you just arrived in town. Let me introduce you to some. Let me introduce you to. Sorry, just got the camera. Hey, you're new in town. Let me just introduce you to such and such. Let me just tell you about, I don't know, this amazing thing that you need to try. It will be really good for you. You know what? I know this photographer. Like I told you, I went to the fashion show. I went last year. I've been here for almost 5 years at the end of the year, and it's like I could have been there at least 4 times. Did anyone say to me, hey, you know what? You should come and go to this casting. It will be nice because you're going to meet all the designers and photographers. I'm sure they want to work with you and collaborate. Why don't you come and join? No one is going to give you that advice. No one. Oh, there's this studio that you need to really go to. It's really good for you. No. And actually, when they see you there, when you go there, you see the familiar faces. I think, oh, you didn't tell me about this, but anyway, without you, I'm still here, So it's really just what can I say? It's quite interesting, But you have to understand that your life is yours, At the end of the day, you can't really be mad to people for being people, These people are never going to give you a shot. Unfortunately, people are very even encouraging you. Every time people are like, oh, but on social media, no one, like my family, my friends, the people are watching my content, but they're not supporting me. Yeah, they're not, and they will not. The people who actually support you are not your relatives, and that's my experience. That's most people's experience. And you know what? It's freeing because I don't feel like I instead of feeling sad about it, I actually feel like it's freeing because I think that I don't owe them anything. Anything I've done, they can't claim anything because they were not part of it. And I understand why a lot of time people don't actually, people say, oh, but that person is successful and why don't they invite me to such and such? I'm thinking, when they were struggling, did you even help? Did you even say, congratulations, keep going? No. Like, I'm here now. After this, I'm going to walk my dogs. And by the way, same for my dogs. It's stressful. I've got two hamsters. They are very demanding. And I've never had people, even when we had, as I told you before, we had to sell puppies, and people were actually more judgmental and watching to see, they were quite convinced that they were not going to be sold. They were like so surprised, like, "Oh, you already sold them?" And that's when I knew, I was like, you know what? You guys ain't shit. Sorry to swear, but I was thinking, you're irrelevant because without you, thanks to Facebook, I was able to sell them. So fuck you, basically, because it's like the worst is that when they pretend that they want to help you. Oh, let me know about like they pretend that they want to help you, but actually it's just to check your progress. Oh, oh, did you sell them? How many do you have left? Oh, don't worry, I'm asking people. No, you're not, because these are really cute dogs, and people are actually, especially here in Poland, they're quite popular. Some people really hate them, but a lot of people really love them. Like for us, this is like, again, you just have to believe. But those are kind of moments where I was telling myself, we will sell them, we will find them a house. In fact, this weekend, we have one of the puppies and their family, they're going to come and visit us this weekend. So that's going to be cute. We don't know how they're going to react, but it's like, you know, it all starts with believing in yourself. Faith. I don't know if you watched Games of Thrones, and there's that moment when Daenerys, the mother of the dragon, you know, she's an orphan. No one gave her any chance. No one gave her any credit. They just wanted for her to die, and they were just spying on her the whole time. Anyway, but by the way, I'm not spoiling Game of Thrones for you. It's been around for almost 10 years, okay? And there's so many episodes that it's not a spoiler. You will still enjoy watching it if you want to watch it. But anyway, I love that scene at the end. Was she's sitting on the Iron Throne, and and that guy comes and he's like basically telling her that she have to help him, and she's like, what? Do you realize that you're coming to help me? You're asking me to risk my life and stuff, and he's very entitled anyway, Jon Snow anyway. And she's like, you know what kept me standing all these years? You know what? Faith, not in God, not in anything, but faith in myself, in Daenerys Targaryen. And I was like, yeah, that's it. You know what can keep you standing? You have to have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself, not in people, not in religion, not in faith in yourself, and just keep going. That's honestly, that's the only way to go about it. You have to be your first believers. You have to be your first fan. You have to be your first everything. I was even watching the live music of Billie Eilish. Amazing. And then I was thinking, wow. I remember when I used to watch videos of her on YouTube with her brother, and they were just like some big people that no one really paid attention to. She made cool music, but people were not really even noticing them. And when I saw that concert in 3D in the cinema, I tell you, I was like, wow, yes, this is amazing. But could you imagine, sorry, my camera is falling down. But could you imagine if she actually thought, now to be a pop star, I have to do this, I have to change my clothes. But she focused on her craft, and then she's doing an amazing 3D concert for us to watch with David Cameron. I'm like, girl, what can I say? I'm so happy for her, you know? And it's like, you know, when I think even like myself, like my parents are migrants, not by choice, and also this thing like you think, oh my god, it's like yeah, they had a very comfortable life. They were forced to leave Rwanda, and they wanted first. They tried to go in. They did their best. They had 4 toddlers, three toddlers, and 1 baby, and they had to do it. You know what helped them? They had faith that it was going to work out. How? They just did. They just did. They had faith. Same like when you are training or you're at the gym, you just have faith that some way, somehow, you're going to get closer to your, I don't know, your goal, if I can say so, your goal, and that's just that's it. But now we have this expression in French, like you have to have the vision. No one else is going to have the vision. Sometimes you can be in a group of people and they don't really have the vision for you. They don't think that you're going to achieve anything. They don't think that you're going to become anything, quite frankly. But you have to just know that, even for example, I'm modeling. I had this is my third modeling agency. The other ones, I've got 2 agencies that are talents. But I got to a point when I'm like, you know what? When I go to the photo shoot, I get my photos. I ask them for my photos. When I go online and when I present myself, I don't talk about my agency. I talk about myself first. And sometimes they might have, and for different reasons. I know that I'm not the tallest, yeah. I'm not the skinniest, and I'm not trying to be the skinniest because I'm a woman. I'm not a teenager, and I don't want to be anorexic. So that's not what I'm going for. And on top of it, but I know that I'm, how do you say, I'm a commercial. So commercial means more like you're there for advertisements. And yes, I have been on a show recently. Sorry, my thing is falling down. I've been on the catwalk recently, but I am not for the like the big catwalks like Dior, Chanel, because I'm not 1.77 meters to do that. So I know that. But if I was, so that's what I'm saying. You have to believe in yourself, also in a frame. So I'm doing my best in my commercial modeling. So let's say if you see someone doing advertise for perfume, for cosmetics, and that's where actually the money is, which is nice. It's basically really what I would say motivate me to just do my best and to keep doing what I do and push myself to achieve the best in that field. You know, I don't feel envious when I look at someone who do catwalk. I think this is their path, this is their life, but it's not for me, and I'm perfectly fine with it. You know, I'm not now going to spend my time thinking, oh my God, why am I not doing the catwalk? I can do the catwalk for boutiques, and it's quite fun, but I'm not going to, how can I say, I'm not going to now feel sick that I'm not doing like what they're doing. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think I'm going to stop this live stream now, only because in half an hour, I'm going to come back here later, subscribe, I make live streams, even this, like, you know, get your camera. I see that there's some people, not too many, but this is like, just get your camera, and I don't even try to be like perfect or whatever. I just come here, do my workout, and after this, get on with my day, you know. I try also to do live stream when I'm walking my dogs, but that's going to be for the YouTube channel. They've got the YouTube channel, they've got the Instagram. They used to have an Instagram account. I might get back into it, but to be honest, I find Instagram quite, I don't see the point of Instagram, except for modeling, because I do that. But yeah, that's my, so now, oh my God, if you could see me. But I see, I'm so over everything. Before, I would be so shy to even come here and hold this, like, but now I'm like, I don't care that the light is not the best. I'm just, you know, sharing with you and hopefully inspiring you. And I'm going to end the live stream now. And I will see you probably later. I'm coming back again tomorrow. Okay, so thanks for watching. Oh.